Hello everyone, welcome to today's class. Well, in today's class, we are going to deal with how to answer annotations and questions related to poetry. Now, let's look at the lessons what we have in our poetry. So, we have totally 5 poetry lessons, and now the first one is This is My Prayer to Thee, My Lord by Rabindranath Tagore, and the second one is Commonwealth of Bees by William Shakespeare. So these two are very important, and most probably you'll get 2 annotations from these 2 poems. And the third one is As I Grew Older, and by its Langston Hughes. And most probably everything is related to my dream and how you grew up is the concept. That's the way how you can identify. And the fourth one is Body by K. Shivareddy. In this poem also you will get a lot of words related to body and how it decomposes and all the things. And finally you can get the annotation from to a student written by Kamala Vijayaratne. And most probably what we are expecting is the 2 poems. Now let's look at the first one. This is My Prayer to Thee, My Lord by Rabindranath Tagore. In this poem, it's very easy to identify the annotation because you'll get most probably you'll get the first one like strike at the root of penury in my heart, and then give me the strength. So almost every line consists like give me. So give me the strength to raise my mind high above daily trifles, and give me the strength to make my love fruitful in services. This is very important annotation we may get, and give me the strength ever to disown the poor. So these are the various expressions to identify from this poem. Now let's see the first one. Now, as I told you earlier, so once if you know the poem, and then it will be easier for the question answer also. So this will serve for both the question and answer and annotation. The reference, these lines are taken from the poem This is My Prayer to Thee, My Lord by Rabindranath Tagore. And the context is, in this prayer, Tagore prays to God to bestow His supreme qualities upon mankind to create a heaven on the earth. So now let's look at the explanation. As I told you earlier, you can write the same question what you get from the annotation, from the question paper, or otherwise you can add these 2 lines related to the entire poem. Like Tagore appeals to the Almighty to give him strength to perform the divine mission on the earth. He prays God to take away root of the penury in his heart. He says that true love is selfless and give him strength to make his love fruitful in services. I have included almost like 2 annotations in this single explanation. So you can do that because it's almost like, everything is related to selfless service and how best you can do this. And now the last one is general relevance. One should develop the virtue of equanimity by maintaining a balance between joys and sorrows. So this is how you can write an annotation from this lesson. And again, if you want to write the question also, you will write simply the first one as introduction, and you can write the entire all the 3 areas. Now coming back to the thing, we are going to see another important lesson, that's Commonwealth of Bees. So here you can find easily the annotation, and we are expecting a question answer and annotation from these 2 lessons clearly. So I have given here one poem answer. So the poem Commonwealth of Bees is written by William Shakespeare, and the present poem is an extract from Shakespeare's play Henry V, and he says that beehive is a metaphor for a well-ordered kingdom. So this is a very important line which is useful for both annotation and question and answer. And now let's see Honeybees lead an organized life. They follow some rules and regulations. They maintain good discipline and lead their lives. Thus, they teach us the law and order to a country. Honeybees hail with a king surrounded by worker bees, soldier bees, mechanic bees, lawyer bees, etc. The soldier bees attack on the summer flowers. Similarly, the army should guard the king and tackle any attack from the enemies. So this is how you can write this answer. And the next extended paragraph is, the mason bees build the hive to store this loot. The poor potter bees take the burden of carrying the loot through the narrow gates of hive. The justice punishes the lazy drones. Likewise, the respective people should focus on their assigned duties. All the bees work for their own commonwealth. The poet says that 1,000 actions will lead to one desired goal. Thus, a collective work results in the growth and development of a society. So this is how we have to answer this question. And now let's look at the areas. The Commonwealth of Bees. These lines are taken from the poem Commonwealth of Bees, written by William Shakespeare. And in this poem, the poet gives a vivid picture of bees' kingdom in a lyrical form. And he says that beehive is a metaphor for a well-ordered kingdom. So this is the common gist, what you have to write if you get an annotation from this lesson. And now coming back to the thing that as I grew older, I told you to identify the annotation from this poem would be like, everywhere you can find my dream, or it always talks about how you grow, right? So these lines are taken from the poem As I Grew Older, written by Langston Hughes. And the poet says that in order to achieve one's dream, one has to fight with all the barriers that come in between. So it's all about what's your dream and how you overcome the dream. So that's how we can say it's related to As I Grew Older. And the third one is body. And here to identify is, it will be most probably the lines would be or will consist the word body or decompose or certain things. So now these lines are taken from the poem Body, written by K. Shiva Reddy. In this poem, the poet describes the personality of human body, and the poet highlights the human body is not just a physical or biological organism or body. It has immense potential to do any kind of task. The living body never decays. That's how you can answer for this question or annotation. If you have these three lines, you can manage well. And now coming back to the last one is To a Student. And these lines are taken from the poem To a Student, written by Kamala Vijayratne. And the poet talks about how ethnic divisions have penetrated the classroom and how they have influenced the young minds. And whenever you find this, and almost all these lines will have very small, sentences. So this is how you can identify. And I hope that if you focus more on Commonwealth of Bees, and this is Prayer to Thee, My Lord by Rabindranath Tagore. And these two poems are very, very important. And I hope the only crux is to identify the annotation. And once you identify from which lesson it is, and your job will be easier. But what I suggest to all the students is, first you try to write the minimum notes like the name of the poem and the writer, and then what is it's all about, a simple gist. If you know that, you can do well in this poetry era. Thank you, that's all for today, and let's meet in the next class.